It's the first time the Chiefs have ever beaten the New York Giants in MetLife Stadium, and we are now 1-2. Oh my gosh, the season is saved. The Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl again, Garrett. Let's go. Ah.
I wouldn't go that far. But we did finally beat them at MetLife. I mean, it was a diabolical stat. It was like 0-7 against the Giants when they're at home. So it's nice to finally get a +1 on the board.
Listen, at halftime of that game, I was many a beer deep, and I was thinking to myself, the season might be over, but this might be a very, very pitiful end to the season at halftime of the New York Giants game. And then somehow, some way, I guess Andy Reid or maybe Mahomes or maybe Kelsey started beating up somebody in the locker room and saying, hey, we need to actually play and try to win this game, because all of a sudden, the second half, the playbook looked normal again. It looked like our offense was...
Yeah, I wouldn't even say it looked normal. I mean, it looked it's fantastic compared to what we've seen the last couple of weeks and you know the 8 quarters of football we had before that moment, right? And it seems like it came out of nowhere. Just like we just said, hey, you know, we actually know how to play football. We've won Super Bowls in the last 6 seasons. Like we know how to do this, guys. And the boys locked in and got a dub.
Absolutely. Well, this is Talkin Chop, guys. Welcome to our show. We can't wait to talk about the Giants' loss and the Chiefs' first win. We got another quarterback benched, Russell Wilson out, Jackson Dart in. I am personally excited about Dart's season. I've been a big fan of his. But, Garrett, we have hope now. And hey, the Broncos lost. Everybody's 1-2 besides the Chargers, and the Chargers look like the real deal. The Eagles look like they have the devil magic this year after blocking a kick against a Rams team who low-key is top 5, a Rams team that low-key is top 3. They got a block kick return for a touchdown to win the game. So they have the devil magic this season. The Eagles have been snaking out wins.
They stole it from us in the Super Bowl, I guess. They just ripped it out from under us. Now they're doing the rituals in the locker room, making sure they get these really close clutch wins.
And I'll say this at the top of the show. If we can get out by week 7, 3-3, and we get Rashee Rice back, I think we have a great shot of going all the way back to the Super Bowl. But we have to make it to 3-3 by week 6. That's my okay, we're fine. And it's not going to be easy. We got the Lions and the Ravens coming up, and we got Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter and the Jags are gonna come into town. Actually, we're going to their town, but
yeah.
Hey,
yeah. I mean, it's gonna be a really close race to the finish in this really tough first 6 game of the season. I mean, obviously we talked about earlier having Rashee Rice gone during this time is going to be really tough on us, and with the unexpected loss of Xavier Worthy for these next couple of games. Just adding on to just the unfortunate circumstances going into this really tough front end of our schedule, but even
it doesn't get easier.
It doesn't get easier, right? So then we go to Buffalo, then we have our bye. Go to Denver. The
Commanders.
Have the Commanders as well. They've been balling out.
And
then
the Colts.
We have what seems to be the biggest surprise of the season in Big Danny Dimes. Leading it out and MVP frontrunner right now, Daniel Jones. It does not get easier. I mean, Thanksgiving seems to be like one of our easiest games later part of our season, but it is going to be a tough one to round out for sure.
And I was joking, but I'm for real. There's only 2 more free wins in the rest of this schedule, and that would be the Dallas Cowboys and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Reason I'm not saying the Titans are a free win is because if you go back to any other Chiefs-Titans matchup previously in the last Mahomes era, it's a grueling battle every time. So the Titans always have our number and they always compete. Dude, they used to have Ryan Tannehill. I remember when
to
Ryan
be fair,
Tannehill
they don't have
beat
Derrick
us.
Henry anymore, so
hey, but they do have Tony Pollard.
They have Tony Pollard and Julius Chestnut, right? Julius Chestnut. Famous backup running back from the Tennessee Titans, Julius Chestnut. Had no idea that man existed until earlier today. But, They
also have Alik Manor, who is on all my fantasy teams because Cam Ward is a dog, and I think Cam Ward's O-line is terrible. But I don't think it's free win just because, it's the Titans. But I do think nothing is free.
I do think beating
league.
the Giants was super important. I think just giving us that little even extra buffer. I mean, we need to at least beat one of either Baltimore or Detroit. I think we're going to be pretty solid against Jacksonville, but we need to come out with a dub against two of probably the toughest teams in the league right now in Baltimore and Detroit. Even though, guys, I know Baltimore's 1-2 right now. That does not matter. That does not matter.
You know what's funny about the Jags? I think that they are like they could be 3-0 right now, which is really funny. But everybody thinks they're so dysfunctional, but they're actually winning games. They beat the Texans, who are pretty good. It was kind of funny. Like they feel so dysfunctional, especially from a fantasy football perspective. I'm a Brian Thomas Jr. and a Travis Hunter owner, but nonetheless, it's a tough schedule, Garrett. But welcome to the show, guys. If you're new here, you know our associate producer Jackson. He's not with us. He's currently napping. He got 2 hours of sleep, bro. He couldn't
had a big long weekend. Kind of like dragged on into a Monday. We love our boys getting their rest and making sure they're all good to go. So unfortunately, we have to do without our boy today. But I think we're going to be just fine in his absence. He can't fact check us in the moment, but I'm pretty sure we usually get pretty close.
We're good on it anyway.
Yeah, we're good on it.
Well, no, he's actually crucial, and I won't have timestamps. Rip that. So,
yeah.
But hey, if you had a tough weekend like Jackson and you need to sleep in, considering using our sponsor, right, Garrett?
I mean, hey, yeah. When you're sleeping in, what's the best time when you're not going to work on a Monday? Throw some bets down on some sports. Use code CHOP or Talkin Chop or Talking Chop, but use any of them. Most likely, easiest one. Use code CHOP to get $50 free play when you play $5. Super simple. It's really easy.
All right, Garrett. Thank you for that. And let's just get into it. No new injuries to report. That is probably the biggest news to me in the week is we finally made it unscathed. I mean, we had no Mike Dana. We had no Christian Fulton. We had no Xavier Worthy. Jalen Royals came back, and I mean, while he didn't play at all, it's still nice to have him back. I was curious about that, but we honestly didn't really need to risk it in this game, and I'm glad,
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to work him in quite yet. Brashard Smith played a lot more. Tyquan Thornton played lights out, and, I was happy once the second half was over, we could say.
Yeah, at the end of the first half, I was kind of expecting like, hey, we had talked about last week that we kind of expected this to be a really like low scoring game, really big slugfest, and it was looking like it was going to that point, especially at halftime. Was not expecting the offensive output and the explosion in kind of the creativity and the mismatch of the play calling that we saw in the second half. But I was going to mention, I feel like a lot of people really take for granted, how we say, hey, no new injuries this week. And I think that's a big plague going around the league, especially with, teams like the 49ers, who just seem to be the most unlucky franchise when it comes to really big name injuries. Most notably,
like Juwan Jennings.
Like Juwan Jennings, yes, of course. And Nick Bosa, most recently, just out for the season now. So
what about Brock Purdy? He's injured too, and Kittle's out for like 6 weeks.
I believe he's coming back next week, though, isn't he?
Yeah, Purdy? But like they're still losing games because of those injuries. Well,
like I mean, they're 2-1 without him. So I thought that was really funny because
they had him week 1, didn't they?
So I think they haven't lost a game without him, have they?
Well,
I could be tripping.
I thought we haven't watched the Niners game. See, this is what Jackson's for, guys.
This is what our associate producer Jackson is for. However, they've played pretty well without him. Mac Jones has been balling
Mac
out.
Jones did look good.
But I thought it was funny because all the Niners fans are like, you guys are really going to see how Brock Purdy's been, lifting this team on his shoulders. And then Mac Jones goes out there, throws like 4 touchdowns in one game. It's like, well, is Brock Purdy really doing all the heavy lifting, or is, the 49ers scheme and the boys around him really pulling all the weight? But that's regardless. We're not talking Niner. But just putting that in perspective, like we could be having a ton of injuries right now that are really detrimental, and we're lucky enough and fortunate enough to have the boys stay on the field.
So this is going to be a segment that we do every week when we actually have players to highlight, but we just haven't had good enough games for me to even do these stat graphics. Finally, we have them. So have a day, Jalen Watson. Have a day, Jalen Watson. That was a stellar performance. If anybody was here before COVID, the NFL used to post these graphics all the time. I definitely branded them myself and added a little bit more. Like the jersey thing. Oh, man. Like the little jersey, like, the
little cutoff sleeve part there.
Yeah, the little stripes. Like I had to add that because they didn't have it in the original one. I thought it's necessary. But Jalen Watson, dude, an interception, 2 pass deflections, 7 tackles. He was flying all over the field. Honestly, someone I didn't notice who had a great day earlier was George Karlaftis. Had a really slept on game. Dude went crazy. So I'm definitely going to give him a graphic here today. Probably he'll probably come out tonight and you'll see it, and you would have already seen it because the graphic will come out first. But have a day, Jalen Watson. But let's talk about the offense a little bit. Tyquan Thornton, the true wide receiver.
Balled
one of the Chiefs.
out.
Go, dude. I love when a guy in the offseason gets so much hype and it actually like paid off. Like he had so much offseason hype in training camp. It was like getting me a little worried in the sense of like, is this just Justin Ross hype all over again? It was not. Tyquan Thornton's a dog. He's fast. He's tall. He has hands, and he's really good at. I saw the way he like positions his body to catch the football has been something that has been what I noticed the most about him. And I think that's what a lot of wide receivers we've had in the past, Mahomes has not trusted them because they're body catchers, you know?
Yeah.
Tyquan Thornton finds the ball with his hands.
Yeah, he's got really good track of the football. And I think a really spectacular moment that obviously everyone saw in the game was when Mahomes had that first, deep bomb that connected to him and it just barely came out of his hands in the end zone, just wobbled a little bit. Mahomes goes right back to him, essentially on the same play, and he brings it down again. It was such like a ball doesn't lie moment that I was so hyped when he came down with that the second time. It was just such a wonderful moment.
And then he did the point straight up in the air. I can't really do it without being off my mic, but yeah,
it was awesome.
It was so cool.
And Patriots fans would tell you that he was going to be god awful whenever we brought him in.
I don't know. I thought a lot of Patriots fans thought he just wasn't used. And that's weird with a lot of the Patriots wide receivers is they've drafted a lot of guys with high capital and they just don't give them a chance to develop. Dude, let me see what Javon Baker has because I think Javon Baker could be good and we've just never seen him play. They already traded away Jalen Polk, who they just drafted last year. It's seems like a system error. They'd rather their UDFAs start like Demario Douglas and Kayshon Boutte. They'd rather the UDFAs over the highly drafted guys, I guess. But hey, I mean, it's
interesting allocation of resources there, New York. But hey, to each their own, I guess.
New England, Garrett. New
England. Sorry, guys. New England.
And then I had to make this. I don't think Mahomes had a Mahomes level game. I mean, it looked like a Mahomes level game when you just watch him running around back there trying to make stuff happen. But I thought he was worthy of a graphic because of that forced fumble that he got. That didn't really technically count as a forced fumble, but I make my own statistical liberties here. When your quarterback literally throws a screen pass that is technically backwards, so rule the fumble, and your running back just doesn't go to pick it up, and Mahomes is like, fine, I'll do it myself.
The wrong way.
Yeah, and Mahomes is fine. I'll do it myself. And tracks down the linebacker who picked it up, strips the ball from him, and says, "We're gonna punt this football." Okay.
Saves the touchdown on the fumble recovery as well by the defense, and just takes the ball back. He's like, "That's mine. I threw it away. I'm gonna take it back." And it just shows how locked in he is at every single second of the game. Other quarterbacks, you could have seen them throw that backwards, saw some stuff going down that didn't go their way, and just be like, oh my God, what is happening right now? No, the moment that ball went loose, he was sprinting directly for that ball again, and it's just really good to see that out of a leader.
Yeah, and honestly, I think he looks better this year than he did last year. And I mean, granted, we have a worse record, but that tells you that the quarterback isn't the whole team. But Mahomes is damn well trying to be the whole team, and I think he had a good enough game to get highlighted. So have a day, Pat Mahomes. Garrett, let's keep talking about the Giants game. One of the notes I had in my little observations is we finally had a rushing touchdown that was not Patrick Mahomes rushing it in. So Indeed. Kareem Hunt gets that goal line carry. I mean, Pacheco averaged 4.5 yards a carry on his 10 carries. He did pretty well when he actually got runs. He had a lot of lowlights, but he had some good moments too.
Yeah, I feel like there was either a communication problem or just a lack of focus when it came to Isaiah during that game. Obviously, we really can. It didn't amount to much his negative plays, but it very well could have turned around and been a very changing moment in this really close game, especially at halftime. I mean, Mahomes doesn't strip that ball away, and it's a defensive touchdown for the Giants, and their momentum is going all the way their way. And imagine they rule that another almost lateral pass where Pacheco throws the ball on the ground. It could have been a live ball.
Yeah,
right?
It should have been. It should have been.
And it should have been a live ball. But regardless, I mean, those very we talked about it last week, right? Like very few mental mistakes are losing us these football games, and in the moment, those could have been another situation where we're sitting here now talking about how those moments could have cost us the game, right?
And
So,
and a better team does capitalize on those issues, especially you rarely see a linebacker get stripped by a quarterback.
Yeah.
So we could have had 2 turnovers that we didn't
Very
have in this
quickly.
game because some people have hustle. I will say I like how Mahomes was not the leading rusher in this game. Now he did actually, the stats kind of are misleading. It said he has 2 yards rushing. The recovered fumble that he had to do to punch the linebacker out, like
it
deleted.
took away like 15 or 20 of them.
Yeah, which he looked pretty good before that. But I'm glad we're finding ways to create the run. Brashard Smith had 2 carries for 13 yards, and
especially
those carries,
in the second half. We're gonna
yes,
differentiate
all in the second
second half. The first half was
Terrible.
the basic stuff that we saw the last couple weeks. Very like uninspired, just base stuff, just a lot of inside zone and just some trap plays that were just going nowhere. But once we broke into the second half, we were opening up with a bunch of different formations, like trip sets, and we have a lot of like reverse and jet motions with Brashard Smith, Nico Remigio. Like we spread the ball out way more in the second half than we did in the first, or even regarding the first couple games. I think, especially with right now with the guys we have on the field and the guys we don't have on the field, I think not letting the defense predict who's going to get the ball at any given time is going to be beneficial for us. And it showed with guys like Remigio and Brashard Smith getting on the outside on these stretches and on these reverse and jet sweeps, and they were just open, and it would open up the middle, which is why Pacheco had a much better second half, because they didn't know where the ball was going to go.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's the classic Chiefs offense that I feel like we strayed so far away from. I saw someone say that this feels like the Andy Reid Eagles West Coast offense, what he's been running lately. And, I kind of do see it. And they're like, why has Andy Reid like slimmed down the playbook? And now it seems like in that second half of the Giants game, it said, all right, fine, we're going to get creative. Yeah. We're going to do our normal playbook because, I mean, you're about to be 0-3 at that point. Mm-hmm. Like, it's time to – no reason to save anything for the playoffs. Yeah. Let's just win. Let's just win football games.
And another big thing, especially in the run game that I noticed that was really beneficial, is that we were actually like going for a lot more read options that was forcing that backside linebacker to just stay where he is just for the threat of Mahomes pulling the ball and hitting that outside. And it really just holds defenders in a way that opens up these gaps play side that like guys like Trey Smith and guys like Kingsley can take care of. Whereas like earlier in the first half, we were just a lot of like dive plays where like there's no threat of Mahomes running. So they all can just crash these gaps super hard. And I think going into that option kind of scheme, especially with the RPOs added onto that, is super beneficial because that opened up everything.
And I wonder if they thought in film that they could just get away with doing that because the Giants run a lot of 3 defensive end sets with like a lot of lighter players that are pass rush specialists. But I kid you not, they had a great game plan for that. And I mean, first off, Abdul Carter, Brian Burns, and Kayvon Thibodeau are not just pass rush specialists.
No.
They were able to get off blocks and act like they were defensive tackles.
Brian Burns is a dog, dude.
He really is. And you know what? I liked what they did with Abdul Carter. He would like pass rush for a little bit on a play and then kind of like pseudo spy Mahomes. The instant Mahomes starts scrambling, it was Abdul Carter's job and assignment to bail on his pass rush and become a true quarterback spy. And it forced Mahomes to have to make different decisions too. So I really liked their defensive scheme that they were running.
Yeah, I mean,
I was expecting us to do a lot better.
It's a deadly front seven too, and I mean, even with the the struggles up front, especially in the run game. I mean, we're going up against guys like Dexter Lawrence, who's a phenomenal D tackle. He's been one of the best in the league for the past 4 or 5 years, and especially guys that can fit inside. Like we talked about, like Thibodeau, like Abdul Carter. It's like that's a really good front seven, and I think we had some struggles, especially Josh Simmons probably had his worst game of the season, but at the same time, he's one-on-one most of the time against a guy like Brian Burns, and with not letting up a sack, honestly, I'll take that. I'll take that from our rookie left tackle, not letting up a sack against a guy with the NFL caliber like Brian Burns has.
We had a bunch of other rookie standouts. I want to point out Noel Williams. He did play very little, and he has been playing very little. But when he has played, he is apparently PFF's highest coverage grade corner, with whatever that's worth. So potentially a good hit on that late third-round pick. And, I mean, we were liking Noel in the offseason. He led the FBS in interceptions last year for Cal. It was pretty impressive what he was able to do there, and it seems like it's translating already. But what I do want to point out about this game, and what I am very happy with, is the secondary rotation. We are finally using Christian Roland Wallace as a safety, according to PFF. But
talk about have a day as well. That kid balled out.
And he had an interception in a big crucial moment. He seems to
just almost had two.
Ball.
Barely dropped a second one as well.
He seems to just find the ball, Garrett. Like, right place, right time. There's something to be said about that. But according to PFF, we had rotated 4 different safeties, and they all got at least 20 snaps. Jaden Hicks, Brian Cook, Christian Roland Wallace, and of course, oh my God, I'm blanking on his name, Chamari Connor. And so that 4 safety look was great. You have Connor, who plays the slot a lot. You have Christian Roland Wallace, who can also play the slot. But you kind of just disguising so many coverages that a veteran like even Russell Wilson was just lost out there. Had one of his worst career games.
Yeah, it was so bad.
Following one of his best career games. And you wanted to talk about it. Spags had a way to shut down Malik Neighbors, similarly to A.J. Brown, who, by the way, A.J. Brown went off against the Rams. So clearly it was not AJ Brown sucks thing. It's a Chiefs lockdown AJ Brown thing.
And I think that is a benefit of that rotation, right? And like hiding all these coverages and like what players playing what position on the field at what time, right? It's allowing our defense to confuse and just kind of like try and make the offense focus in on a couple key players. And they really tried to get Malik Neighbors the ball, and we were just not having it. I think he only had that one catch for like 6 yards on that like quick curl route on the outside that was like way late in the game. But other than that, I mean, we held them to pretty much nothing the entire game.
And I mean, I'm just looking right now at some of the like defensive alignments. Like you had Jaden Hicks line up as a box linebacker a lot. Christian Roland Wallace was lined up 16 snaps for Roland Wallace in the box and 23 for Jaden Hicks in the box too. And they played a lot of free safety. Even Jaden Hicks had 3 snaps at D line, Garrett. We were disguising everything. And he had 6 slot snaps too. They're just putting everybody everywhere. And I really love to see that, especially, oh my gosh. And Chamari Connor had a bunch of box snaps too and played mostly in the slot for the rest of the game. Like talk about disguise your coverages. Like
it's weird seeing the discourse like, on the medias and all that about, the Chiefs team. And they're like, well, our defense just isn't really as good as it was last year. I'm like, is it though? Because like we've been really like shutting down a lot of these really great offensive teams. Like, obviously not the Giants, but
they put up a lot on the Cowboys.
They put up a lot on the Cowboys. I don't think the Cowboys defense is anything good this year at all. But except paper, right? But on the field performance, defense has really been keeping us in these games. I mean, like especially with the Eagles, right? Like we held them to less than half the points they put on us in the Super Bowl, right? We just couldn't back it up on the offensive end of the ball. But I think we're just getting into our groove now. I think we're going to look at what we did offensively second half against the Giants and really keen in on a lot of that stuff that worked. It was so fun finally watching Chiefs football and being like, wow, like we're actually out there like balling out and having really good routes, really good schemes. Like everyone was open, a lot of quick RPOs that opened up the run game, allowed us to hit it back inside. Pacheco finally had a couple good runs here and there, like a couple 8-yarders, but feels like we can finally get something going. I just really hope that we don't revert back to what we were doing in the first half. Because that's just not our game.
We can't afford to. Honestly, we need to treat this entire season like it's the playoffs because this schedule is brutal. And I think that, this defensive, I just started looking, Garrett, at all the different alignments that we ran last night. And I'm just looking at it right now for the first time. And I'm like, holy cow, Spags put on a masterclass. No wonder Russell Wilson was lost out there. And shout out Noel Williams, who came in at corner and just played outside corner the whole time. And Jalen Watson was pretty much on the outside the whole time. But we had Trent McDuffie moving from outside and inside. You just have guys all over the field and you don't know where they are. And it's how you talk about Tom Brady when he used to identify players based on their numbers. and he would know where they are, what position they played.
Yeah.
Spags is like the anti that, and just I don't. You could put anyone anywhere. I'll put George Karlaftis on in coverage.
And all that led to the best red zone performance of all time from Russell Wilson. Three throwbacks out of the end zone and a designed quarterback run. Like that, I don't know what was going on the play calling end of that sequence, but if you look at the breakdown of what Russell Wilson did in the goal line situation,
well, that got
it's like first play, not a single wide receiver went into the end zone at all. Second play, designed quarterback run. Third play, same thing. Like I think it was like mostly hitches, and then he throws it out of the end zone, and then fourth down, chucks it out the back, like it hits the crossbar. Beautiful masterclass by Russell Wilson.
Yeah. Sorry, I started geeking out again. Apparently, Trent McDuffie lined up on the D line 4 times too. So we were just having fun out there. We're just having fun out there. Like that's great to see.
I think the last thing we definitely need to talk about is, guys, what is going on with Harrison Butker?
Oh, that's right. We did have that in the notes. Like, listen,
what is going on?
I had a take earlier in last season when we had Spencer Schrader healthy, and I was like, dude, think about it this way. This kid, Spencer Schrader, out of Notre Dame, he's young. He has a boot of a leg, and kickers are honestly, they don't have as long of a shelf life as people start to think these days. There's a lot of young and up and coming kickers. I was like, Harrison Butker is one of the most expensive kickers in the league. Why not just stick with Harrison Schrader? Oh my God, I combined them. Why not stick with Spencer Schrader? He's younger. And he was going to be cheap, and he's talented. And clearly he is very talented, as he is now, I would argue, a top 3 kicker this season, only for this season, on the Colts, doing absolutely amazing things. And Harrison Butker is at least not worth the money right now. At least he's not playing up to that. 4 missed kicks in 3 games. 2 of them are extra points, unforgivable for extra points, especially when missing those extra points cost you the Chargers game, honestly, because
and it's not like they were
forced you to
kicks.
go for 2.
It's not like they were rush kicks either, right? Like the operation was good, the hold was good. He's missing them left, and I'm not sure if it's like we've seen a bunch of like reports come out that he's changing up like his stance and how he lines up. I'm like, in a position that's all about consistency, why are you switching up what you were so good at all of a sudden now? Like, I understand you had the big injury and like that could have changed a lot, but to change how you go at kicking a football this late in like your kicking career, wouldn't that be detrimental to what you want to do and like just get you out of that consistent mode that you've been in this entire time?
And I will say this too. That was part of the reason I wanted to keep Spencer Schrader as well, was because the injury. Like, Harrison Butker got injured, and you've seen kickers get injured and they don't come back the same. Look at Chiefs legend Cairo Santos. I mean, he was kicking for us pretty well. Got that leg injury. We said, "Sayonara, buddy, you're out," and then we just never looked back. And I mean, he's been solid. He's been bounced around with a lot of teams, and I think he's finally found a home. But I mean, you look at what Schrader's been doing, and you look at what Butker. My example was going to be Justin Tucker. Justin Tucker, after the injury, didn't look really the same at that point in his career. And I know the reason Justin Tucker's not in the league is not only because of his allegations, it's also because of his play on the field. It's a messed up NFL business out there, Garrett, but it's kind of a talent to controversy game that they play. Yeah. It's like, how's
Matthew Wright doing? Didn't we have him as well at the same time as Spencer Schrader?
We had to have him in because Spencer Schrader got injured
as well, yeah.
But Schrader's injury wasn't that bad. So, but yeah, Wright had to come in. We've had Wright before as well, but I don't think Wright is. He doesn't have a leg, so he's not like a kicker of the future. He's a kicker of, let's have him for a couple weeks while someone gets healthy. So I respect Matthew Wright for everything he's done for us, but he is definitely not a Butker replacement. Schrader has the potential to be a star kicker in this league. That's what is disappointing, I guess, to say. I mean, we let go of Ryan Suckup too, and like, we let go of a lot of kickers when Harrison Butker wanted to come into town, when he was with the Panthers before. People don't remember Harrison Butker was a Panther. Like, we got him similarly to how, like, the Jets didn't need Spencer Schrader, so we stole him off their practice squad, and like then they're like, oh crap, we probably did need him. But kicking woes, I hope now that Harrison Butker fixes it. It's funny because some of Chiefs Twitter is like saying it's because of his political beliefs that he sucks, and I just find that really funny. But yeah, I mean, Harrison Butker, man, focus on football. Stop talking.
He's got to figure it out, dog. He's just got to figure it out. Because we're going to get in situations where those 1 or 3 points is going to cost us a game. To be honest, it already has. We could have been at least going to overtime against the Eagles, and he missed a field goal.
He also cost us the Chargers game because we had to go for 2, which forced us to be down, and we wouldn't have kicked the field goal that we did because we would have only been down 7, but we had to go for 2 and we didn't get it. So that's why we were down by more than 1 score. We would have only been down 1 score on the final drive, and we would have probably taken that to overtime too. So I digress. I did see a funny thing about Butker saying, because he said the stay in the kitchen thing or whatever the heck. Yeah. So they're like, maybe Harrison Butker is the one that needs to go back to the kitchen and learn how to cook because he needs to kick field goals. All right, let's talk one more thing trash about the Chiefs as a joke because Garrett, the Royals offense is as good as the Chiefs offense. And if you don't watch baseball, it's really hard to hit a ball and get a runner to go around the bases. 20 runs in one game is crazy. First off, shout out to the future of Royals baseball. Carter freaking Jensen is a stud. Jack Caglione is coming up. Bobby Witt's obviously always been good. The Royals' future looks amazing, but 20 runs in one game. Through 3 weeks, Garrett, we averaged 20 points, though. And in an NFL where you have the Ravens coming, we're going to their town, the Ravens, the Lions, Bills, they all have put up 30 points almost every game with ease. So we're not even getting close to that with averages. So is this concerning? Do you think that the Ravens, who we're about to talk about soon, who do put up a lot of points, are we going to hold them to not a lot of points?
Especially with the guys we have out that are not currently on the field, I don't want to put too much stock into like our offensive struggles. I can definitely talk about how bad our play calling's been the first couple games, but when it comes to offensive output and production, I think once Rashee Rice comes back, Xavier Worthy's back on the field, I think we're going to be a lot better off, and we're going to be averaging a bit more points.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, before we talk about Ravens, I know everyone wants to hear about that. We're going to quickly do a segment because Chiefs Twitter still is very noisy. We love Chiefs Twitter. It's funny. I love the
It's a little love-hate relationship, I feel like sometimes.
Garrett, have you heard of the EGE movement? It's about Rashee Rice. It's everybody's got to eat, and that's what they say. EGE, free 4. If y'all don't get it.
God, those shirts were crazy, so dude.
But everybody's got to eat over there on Twitter. So let's go over. This is a segment I like to call, Do You Want Him, Garrett? Because CJ Gardner-Johnson just got cut from the Texans. And, some people might want him, even though we literally just talked about how our 4 safety rotation is doing an amazing job and how our corners are amazing, even with Christian Fulton injured. Clearly, here's some guys that people want. I don't even think we need. I remember people clamoring for Justin Simmons. I don't even think we need. Why would we?
We do not need another safety right now. I feel like what we've shown on the field, obviously people were clamoring and be like, oh well, we just really don't have that top safety that we really need back there. I'm like, we have been fine. Our defense has been keeping us in these games. I think with how Spags runs the defense, and how we've been able to perform, I think. Defense is 100% not our problem right now.
All right, well, yay or nay, CJ Gardner-Johnson?
No, he's also a locker room cancer, so that's a big no.
I just got excited when I saw that one of the reasons he wanted to leave was I want to blitz more, and I was like, I immediately thought of Spags. I'm like, oh, Spags would actually kind of use CJ Gardner-Johnson pretty well, but I agree, nay, we don't need him at all. I think Christian Roland-Wallace getting more snaps this week is kind of an indicator that we're pretty confident with him back there, and I couldn't agree more. Darnell Savage, I'm not even going to waste our time here. He got cut from the Jags, so Justin Simmons.
Look, if you get cut from the Jags, let me be honest, I'm good.
Justin Simmons, Garrett, they people want him a lot. They've been saying it. Alex from Chiefs Talk really wants him, and you know what? No, we don't need Justin Simmons.
You gotta wonder why he hasn't been signed to at least a team, though. I guarantee you, it's money. I guarantee you, it's money. He's probably asking for way too much.
Yeah, but at that point, you're losing money by not playing because contracts we signed DJ
I
Humphries
think
for a cheaper
I think
deal than he
closer
would have.
to I think closer to trade deadline, we're going to see him sign somewhere. I don't think it's going to be Kansas City, but I think a team is going to get desperate enough, especially once trade deadline ends and they didn't get who they want. I think one team will bring him in.
Well, let's move on to another positional group. Former Raiders D tackle Christian Wilkins. I actually might be the first yay on this list, and might be the only yay on this list, actually. Jerry Tillery did not play too well. Derek Nottie had literally had
our D tackle
no
group as a
stat.
whole is probably our weakest point on the defense right now, which I don't think is a shock to anybody if you've watched the show for any amount of time. Getting rid of Mike Pennell was a really bad move, especially right near the start of the season. And it's shown. Guys like Scatabo was running all over us.
I can't believe we didn't talk about him, dude. I love Scatabo. He destroyed my Texas Longhorns in the CFP.
Yeah, he's balling out.
But anyway, yes. Continue, Garrett. My bad.
Yeah, no,
it's
just
Scataboed.
when it comes to how teams are attacking us, it's very obvious what they're trying to do, and it's been pretty effective, and that's demolishing the middle of the field, right?
Yeah,
and that also is a benefactor of why people think Nick Bolton is playing so poorly, is that he's being forced into these like really tight boxes where their D line's just getting blown off the ball and not allowing him to fit into space. Obviously, he needs to play a little better as well, but I think the D-line play is a detriment to what he's trying to do as a player, and it's just they're getting blown off the ball almost every drive, almost every snap, and it's really hard to keep a team off the field when first down, second down are these 4.5 yard runs, right? Especially coming up against a team like the Ravens and how we played against the Eagles, right? It's like their whole game plan is all about controlling clock, keeping these long extended drives, getting teams in these third and 2 situations where they could go anywhere. They could keep it on the ground with Derrick Henry or Saquon with the Eagles, or they could go read option like we talked about earlier with Mahomes with Lamar Jackson, right? So
yeah.
We really have to. I mean, we're not talking about the Ravens game right now at this moment, but that's where we need to. I know we want to, but that's why Christian Wilkins might actually be one of the first A's, because that is where teams are attacking us right now, and it's for sure, especially on defense, our biggest hole.
And I'll say it before and I'll say it again. I don't care that he kissed his teammate. Jalen Phillips. He is the Dolphins' defensive end. He's very young. He is a trade candidate only because he might, he's on a losing team that's 0-3. People think the Dolphins are going to sell. I personally don't understand why people think the Dolphins are going to sell all their young talent. I can understand them selling their older talent. I think, Jalen Phillips being on these trade lists and people's desires. Yeah, I freaking want Jalen Phillips. That'd be cool. But we just drafted a D end in Ashton Gelati. And we also have Mike Dana will come back. And I feel like there's so many unrealistic trades on this list that I put here just to make y'all sound stupid, because I'm so tired of seeing it on Twitter.
It's so annoying because people are just like, for this next guy, right? They're like, let's just go trade for Breece Hall. Just go do it, Veach. I'm like, yeah, let's go trade for a star running back on a team that's pretty much their only offensive output right now. Yeah, they're totally going to give one of the best teams in the league over the last 6 years. They're going to give us this running back when that's our biggest struggle on offense for peanuts. Essentially, what these guys, they're like, just throw him a fifth and Jawan Taylor. I'm like, yeah, sure, that'll get us Breece Hall, guys, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that is first off. We're gonna have a new category called unrealistic. Jalen Phillips unrealistic, and then yes, Breece Hall is the next person on this list, Garrett.
Incredibly, it would never happen.
Well, here's why they say it though, and I'll play devil's advocate. They say he's on the final year of his contract, and that New York has Braylon Allen on the come up, although he hasn't looked good this year except for his goal line touchdown. But they're like, why would New York pay Breece Hall the big money when he's going to hit free agency? First off, he's not going to be that expensive. I don't think Breece Hall is going to demand that much money because he's been so injured. And second off, dude, we're not trading for a running back. To make it worse, I'll put the next guy above this. We're not getting Devon Achane. I am so tired of seeing every single freaking person do Devon Achane Chiefs jersey swaps. We are not getting Devon Achane.
Never.
If we do, you can freaking clip this and laugh at me, because that is That would be awesome, I guess. Although he's also
Yeah.
injury prone. I don't really want Devon Achane that much. Like
And,
we have
and the thing
Brashard
with-
Smith,
yeah,
and we don't even use
and
him.
with these teams, it's like who everyone's like, oh, why would the Jets pay Breece Hall? Who else are they paying?
Yeah.
Who else are they paying?
Well,
it's
Sauce and Garrett
it's-
Wilson. Sauce and Garrett Wilson are making a bag.
It's like it's what Carolina should have done with Brian Burns, right? It's
Exactly.
like why'd you let him walk? You weren't paying anybody. He's your best player. Why didn't you pay him?
And I
And now
don't
he's
think the
balling out.
Dolphins. Here's the thing. I don't think the Dolphins should get rid of Devon Achane. First off, he's still on his rookie deal, and he will be. He's not on a contract
And he's
year.
still a baller.
But
why would
and
they
the
get rid
thing
of him?
is, it's going to be expensive for us to trade for him, and also Garrett. If they're selling anybody, they're getting rid of Tyreek Hill. Maybe they're getting rid of their older players, and they're going to keep their core of Achane, Holly Gordon, Jalen Waddle.
That's what people don't
Like,
understand.
They're
like
keeping their young guys.
they're like guys, we just trade for one of their core pieces. I'm like, that's not how this works at all.
Like, they're not going to sell young talent. Now, here's one that maybe's a little more realistic, but I also think is damn near impossible. Alvin Kamara to the Chiefs. No, that's not going to happen. Stop dreaming. He's expensive. And I know there's a lot of contract money workarounds that people are saying that it's going to work out. And I've seen those too. And yes, they do work. But Alvin Kamara wants to be a Saint. And the Saints are for some reason trying to compete anyway. And I think he's going to retire there. And I don't think they're going to trade him. And I don't think that they think they can get value out of Kamara for what we're going to offer. Because we're not going to offer anything more than a 4th round pick, maybe. And even a 4th round pick is overpaying.
Fourth round pick is overpay for sure.
For a 3rd round, or for a 31-year-old running back. He's 31 years old. The Chiefs get younger.
He's expensive. He's
they don't get
old,
older.
and like the capital we'd have to give up to get him is just not worth it at all.
Look back at what Veach does. Does Veach trade for veterans? No. The
No.
only time Veach has ever traded for a veteran is ironically the jersey I'm wearing on my back right now, which is DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins is like the only vet that Veach has ever traded for. And honestly, I don't think Veach was very happy with
There's
how
also
that played out.
there's also no way he wasn't injured when he played for us, because the way he's playing on the
agree.
Ravens
I
right now
agree.
is a completely different player, dude. I'm like, where was that, man?
Yeah, I feel like he played like that against the Bucks, and then maybe he was really hurting after the Bucks game, and they never played because, dude, he went off on the Bucks. DeAndre Hopkins,
He's gone crazy this year.
But now, well, he's gotten 4 catches, but
they've been
4
really
catches have been
spectacular
really good catches. Moving on to some more running backs. Travis Etienne, he's on a contract year. I can see this one being more realistic than Breece Hall for the contract year ones because they have Tutton, who they just drafted, who is on the come up, and because Etienne has not been nearly as consistent as Breece Hall. Do I want Etienne? Maybe.
I don't think so.
But is he better than is he worth trading for? That's the thing. It's like,
No.
why draft? It's not like we need to save the season, and saving the season is trading for a running back. That's what you guys got to get through your head. This upcoming draft class is going to have some studs at the running back position. Singleton from Penn State, freaking Love from Notre Dame is actually my favorite running back in this upcoming draft class, and I want him so bad. He's a certified dog. He's like Cam Scatabo, but like better at running over people. He is insane. I love Love. But yeah, we're not gonna salve it. We're not gonna blow up the future to trade for these running backs that are on contract years. It's a rental, guys. Oh, we want to. Oh, they're on a contract year. They might be traded away from the team that they're on. Yeah, they're on a contract year. That means the Chiefs have to pay them next year and give up a draft pick.
And
So
everyone's
stupid.
like, but like we're so bad at drafting running backs. I'm like, yeah, because every time we draft a running back, it's the 7th round.
Oh, we're so bad at drafting running backs, my ass. Oh, we drafted Darwin Thompson in the 5th, who, yes, wasn't that good, but he stuck around for a 5th round running back. We drafted Pacheco in the 7th, who was a decent draft. Yes, we drafted Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the 1st round pick, and he wasn't even that bad. He was dealing with some stuff off the field. It only looks bad because of the guys drafted after him.
Yeah.
I think that it's absolutely stupid to say that one missed draft running back is bad and makes the whole thing look bad, because we have only taken one 1st round running back, and that was a draft when for once we were actually able to afford a luxury of drafting whoever we wanted. Like, we genuinely had no needs after that draft. But Jerome Ford, Garrett. Jerome
No,
Ford.
get out of here, dude.
I saw this on so many people's I saw this on so many like articles that they said the Chiefs should trade for Jerome Ford. Now, here's what I'll say, Garrett. At least this is realistic for both parties. I think this does make sense.
It could happen, but like it doesn't need to happen.
It makes sense in the sense that if someone got hurt, sure, I could use Jerome Ford for a season, and he's going to cost a 7th round pick, and that's going to be okay. That's when we say Veach is looking for a speedy running back, he's looking at Naheem Hines, and he's looking at maybe Jerome Ford, who's not even that fast. Like, that's what that report meant, and people took it and ran with it. But honestly, low-key, yay for Jerome Ford if someone gets hurt. But I still think it's kind of funny. Finally, Tyreek Hill, Garrett. Everyone wants Tyreek Hill. Oh, wait, not finally Tyreek Hill, but we'll do Tyreek Hill and then one more that I saw today that I think is just crazy on Chiefs Twitter. But Tyreek Hill, do we want him back? I mean, the Dolphins will definitely probably want to trade him.
He's too much money.
Too much money. He low-key is going to be like a role player for us because
and he still has a ton of off the field issues. So like
that's the big thing. I don't want the off the field issues again. We don't need that.
We already have enough wide receivers with off the field issues. I think we could take a break on that. Like they would need to eat such a significant amount of his contract. They'd never do it.
And even if Worthy misses the entire season, I genuinely don't think we need Tyreek Hill back because when Rashee Rice comes back, I don't think people realize he's going to take over the league again. He was on pace, and I know y'all are too young, I guess, now for Michael Thomas. But Rashee Rice was on pace for a Michael Thomas slant boy type season
he was on pace for an insane amount of receptions and his first 3 games. I think he had I don't think he ever had under 10 receptions.
He was on pace to break Michael Thomas's record because he had an extra game as well, but he was going insane. And he's going to pick up right where he's left off. He's healthy, and now there's a vacuum. Rashee Rice is going to be everything and more the Chiefs offense needs.
Yeah.
I don't think people realize that it's about surviving to week 6. It's actually really funny. My fantasy football team and the Chiefs are in a very similar situation. It's survive until week 6, and then Rice comes back, and we're good because I'm just trying to get wins before Rice comes back in fantasy football. Chiefs are just trying to get wins until Rice comes back in regular football. All right, DJ Moore. I saw DJ Moore on a list, dude. Not even did I see DJ Moore on a list. I saw it by 2
get out of here,
Twitter accounts. Guys, we don't need these players. What is this? Is this freaking Madden? Honestly, Garrett, we entertained this too long, if I'm being honest. Let's talk about the damn Ravens. All right, we're going into Baltimore. We got to play the Ravens. On paper, Garrett, that defense is elite. But in reality, are they elite? Because low-key, they only look good against the Browns. I get it. They played high-flying offenses in the Bills and the Lions. So, I'm
gonna cut them a lot of slack. I'm gonna be honest. Those are probably 2 of the most potent offenses in the league right now. So I'm not gonna, dock points on their defense for that. I mean, if we played those teams, I'm sure our defense would let up a ton of points as well. But when it comes to how the Ravens play football, that's essentially our kryptonite, especially right now, right? They are a ground and pound, just force you to just play football a specific way, and that's just bringing a lot of people down in the box, accounting for Lamar, accounting for Derrick Henry, and that just opens up a lot in the play action game. We're gonna have to really focus in. We were able to sit back and let Scatterbo eat a bunch of yards, but also take away Malik Neighbors. We are not going to be able to do that against the Ravens. It's going to force a lot of our guys one-on-one with guys like Zay Flowers, with guys like DeAndre and Rashad Bateman. But I'm really nervous about how our run defense is going to hold up.
That's a good point, Garrett. I mean, but our run defense did good against Saquon. They may not on paper look good, but I think Spags has found ways to scheme up solutions to the lack of defensive tackle talent that we've had on this roster. I will say,
Lamar is a significantly better passer than Jalen Hurts.
Okay, that's fair. Now, I will say this, though. This offense that the Ravens have, now I know they are still 1-2, very well could be 1-3, and hopefully are after this week. This offense has done things that I have never seen in the Lamar Jackson era that I think they have been wanting and craving for forever, and that's having just somebody always goes off every week. It's Rashad Bateman this last week somehow finally woke up. DeAndre Hopkins has had 2 clutch touchdowns the first 2 weeks of the season. Mark Andrews just woke up last week all of a sudden. Devontae freaking Walker had a 2-touchdown game this season. And don't forget Zay Flowers is looking amazing. And that's not even taking into account Derrick Henry. That's not even taking into account Ali, their kick returner, who has put them in such great positions. This Ravens offense is going to be the strongest test for the Chiefs potentially all season. I am less worried about their defense than I am their offense for probably the first time we've ever played the Ravens. This offense is beautiful. It runs so well. I mean, I don't know what changed, but maybe they finally gave Lamar weapons, and this is what happens when you give Lamar weapons.
I mean, they're averaging like 37, 38 points a game, and these are against really good teams as well. So I don't know what Spags has cooked up. I'm assuming it's going to be a lot of just spy and a lot of just disguised, either
Leo Chenal at the end.
Yeah. So I totally agree. I think their offense is easily the scariest part of their team. I think their defense has shown holes, but then again, obviously, they've played really good teams. So it's going to come down to, can our offense scheme like we did in the second half against the Giants, like we've shown that we've been able to before in previous seasons. And we need to get off to a strong start. I feel like Chiefs football for the past 4 years, it's always been our first half sucks, and then we really turn it up in the second half and come back in a game.
Well, especially
right?
this season. Especially this season. We've looked horrible in the first halves of all 3 games, especially the Chargers game.
We absolutely cannot let the Ravens get off to a strong start early, go up a couple scores on us before halftime, and expect to win this football game. Right?
I don't know, Garrett, because they have choked a lot of big leads lately.
Right, they have, but at the same time, it's will be better off if we keep ourselves at least in the game throughout the quarters. And I don't know if that means, really ripping into the team however we did in the second half against the Giants, but we need to open up and we need to be all over the field with, different formations, different motions, putting players in spots that they're not used to being in. We need more Noah Gray on the field. And honestly,
only had 4 less snaps than Kelsey though.
Only had 4 less snaps than Kelsey, but also Kelsey has not been, I'm not going to trash on the guy too hard, but he definitely, you can tell the focus has not been there at times.
Yeah, but he is the 3rd leading receiver on the team, which actually low-key he should be number 1 because these guys that he's getting out caught by are were kind of role players at best before that. So
he has significantly more snaps than any of these guys, and he is only 3rd. Is really what we're trying to say.
Well, I don't know about significantly more snaps, but he definitely has more talent at his position. Anyway, Garrett, Derrick Henry has fumbled every single game. And
which is really odd for him.
They've lost, both of their losses were by 1 scores. If Derrick Henry doesn't fumble that game, this is a 3-0 Ravens team potentially. So, do you think Derrick Henry fumbles in our game? We're gonna put Mahomes at safety, and he's gonna strip Derrick Henry.
It just depends how our defense comes out and attacks, the football, right? It's I feel like at times we've shown that we can really force turnovers and allow, ourselves to get into good positions and play the ball. But there have also been times where it just feel like we're just going through the motions, making tackles and just, securing the ball. I think we definitely have guys that are capable of, producing fumbles on guys like Lamar and guys like Derrick Henry, but they just got to come out and play with that kind of swagger that we've seen them play before. And hopefully it comes out especially early. I would love, I'm not going to speak this into existence, but I would love to win the toss. We start on defense, fumble to start the game, get us rolling. Wouldn't that be something special?
That would be something special for sure. For sure. Their offensive line is solid too. I touched on that. We
are at home as well, which definitely helps in that regard.
Yes, we are. Okay, I was just double checking, but that it's nice to have a home game again. Did I say earlier in the show that we were going to Baltimore? That's not what I meant to say.
I don't think so.
We have a home game. The away game is Jacksonville, but I mean, the Lions sacked Lamar 7 times, though. I don't know if we're going to be able to do that, but that seemed to be the key to winning that game for the Lions, was just to keep Lamar uncomfortable. We're going to have to blitz our corners. We're going to have to blitz our safeties. We're going to have to blitz our linebackers. We're going to have to find creative ways to get around that solid offensive line to get sacks on Lamar. If we can get 4 sacks on Lamar, I'm extremely happy. If we get...
Now, that's a tough ask. That is a tough ask.
The Lions did it 7 times, so... I mean,
well, to be fair, they also have Aiden Hutchinson.
We have Chris Jones. Let's play ball.
Wow.
Let's play ball. Let's go sack. We got George Karlaftis, who had a baller game. We can do it. Leo Chenal 2-sack game. Let's that
God, wouldn't that be that would be dot. Leo Chenal, I feel like he's so underrated. I mean, he is the definition of consistent. That guy is just always at the right spot where he needs to be, always playing hard, he doesn't mind getting his hands dirty, getting in the box and forcing out some fumbles. I love Leo Chenal so much.
So, Garett,
something about those Wisconsin linebackers, dude. They're just ballers.
Do you think we need Worthy for this game? It's
yes.
Not certain if he plays or not.
100%.
Well, that was quick.
If we kept him out like against the Giants, even though he could have played, I think that was really smart. If he can play, I feel like we absolutely need him against the Ravens.
I don't know if he could have played against the Giants, though. Like, he is literally running with a torn labrum out there. Like, he could be pretty hurt. And I think we should... I don't want him to play for the rest of the year, dude. I don't want to ruin his potential future career by re-injuring this torn labrum, dude. So I personally, I say keep him like out. But if he can play and he wants to and he's healthy, then I think, yeah, sure.
If he can, let the boy play.
But I don't think we need him to win this game, Garett. I really don't. I think we could find different ways to get the offense rolling.
I think he would definitely help.
I mean, yeah, I would think
100%.
so. Although we haven't seen him play this year without getting 3 snaps and then getting hurt. So we don't even know what he looks like this year. But it would be nice to...
God, I just noticed the backup quarterback on the Ravens is Cooper Rush. I did not know that.
Oh, yeah.
That is so opposite to what they want to do. What are they going to do if Lamar gets hurt? I mean, that is a completely different style of play.
No, yeah, it's funny because they usually have had a Lamar style backup in the past, like Tyler Huntley, Robert Griffin III.
I mean, that would entirely change up their whole offense if Lamar.
Even Josh Johnson was like kind of Lamar-esque in terms of like running ability. I mean, no one's Lamar-esque in terms of running.
I think
ability,
they probably saw his last name. I think they probably saw his last name and like, this guy can run the football.
Yeah, well. I mean, maybe it's just about getting a solid backup. The offense would definitely change, but when you have Derrick Henry and you have the weapons, they could probably change the offense.
Hand off Merchant and Cooper Rush incoming.
Yeah, well, I'm not wishing for Lamar to get hurt.
Obviously not. I feel like a lot of people think like, oh, Chiefs fans are so happy that specific players like, dude, when Burrow went down, that sucks. Yeah, that dude has gone through it.
Here's what I'll say, and I think it's Joe Burrow is the new Andrew Luck, and Justin Herbert's the new Phillip Rivers, and it's tough,
I don't know, but I mean, Jay Herbo might be trying to change that narrative this season.
We'll see. If he doesn't win a playoff game, he's still Phillip Rivers.
God,
beautiful stats in the regular season, but disappears in the playoffs. That could still come to fruition. Justin Herbert's had too long of a sample size to not have a playoff win, but hey, we'll see. Chargers. I mean, they beat us. We can't be talking SHIT, Garett. We're talking chop, not shit. But I don't know if this is an FDA approved podcast here.
No, we're always FCC approved. We are not the Federal Drug Administration.
Oh my God, we're honestly, guys, both of us have had a long day. We're both exhausted, so we got to get out of here without score predictions. Actually, just kidding, Garett. Throw it right now. What's the score prediction?
Oh, jeez, dude, you're throwing me on the spot here.
All right, I got mine then. You think a little bit while I give my opinion, because I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game at all. I think these offenses are definitely elite. I don't remember the last time the Chiefs have scored 30 points. It's been too long against a good opponent. So the Chiefs are only going to get 28 points. The Ravens are going to get 27 points. It was my Chargers prediction. Is now almost came to fruition. If the Chiefs just scored one more touchdown, then we would have had 28 points and we would have won, and the Chargers would have had 27. But I think it happens in the Ravens game. I think it's going to be a very close game. I said we're not. I don't know why. I feel very confident that we're going to win this game, and I did title the video that way. But I also, at the same time, think it's going to be a really, really hard game. But I feel really at ease that we're going to come out on top. So that's how I'm feeling. I don't know. It's sometimes there's football takes, sometimes there's just what the heart says, and the heart says this is a win.
You know, I think I've predicted low scores every game this season, and I thought about it. I was like, you know what? This is probably going to be another dogfight. We're going to have a lot of running game on the ground. You know what? I think it's going to be a really exciting game to watch. I feel like anytime Lamar and Patrick go at it, especially in Arrowhead, I feel like it's always, dazzling. I'm going 38-31 Chiefs, baby.
Wow.
I think we're going to have our first offensive, masterclass that we have not seen in a long time. And I think Mahomes has had enough. I think he's going to have a really good game.
If we drop 38 points, Garrett, I'm going to buy you something. I don't know what it is yet, but I'll buy you something.
Mark it, baby. Mark it.
If we drop 38 points, I'll get you like a jersey. No, that's crazy. I'll get you a DHgate jersey, like my DeAndre Hopkins jersey.
Hey, let's go.
I will say I think DeAndre Hopkins is probably like a lock to get a touchdown against us, because we just do so bad against possession receivers. Although lately we've been locking up people.
Hey, put that in on Underdog Fantasy using code CHOP. Put DeAndre Hopkins over or higher point half touchdowns.
Yeah, well, I can't endorse that, but Garrett can, so that's Garrett's pick now. And anyway, thank you guys so much for watching the show. Leave a 5-star review on this podcast on Spotify. Listen to us in the shower, the car. Where else do you listen to us? Listen to us in the library. Do you still go to the libraries, Garrett? I don't go to the libraries. I mean,
I don't think I've gone to, besides Barnes and Noble, maybe I haven't gone to like a library in a long time.
Well, you know what? I challenge you guys to sit and listen to Talkin Chop in your local library.
Someone put us on vinyl.
Someone put Talkin Chop on vinyl so you can hear our soothing ADS. Oh my gosh, I'm getting every single ASMR. I'm getting every single acronym wrong today. We're tired of losing. The Chiefs are going to win next week, 2-2. We're hoping to be 3-3 by the time Rashee Rice comes back. That's the goal. Subscribe to the YouTube and follow the Instagram on Talkin Chop. And as always, Garrett, we're just talking chop, baby. We're just talking chop. I mean, have a great day, guys. Maybe we'll go live again soon. Maybe.